had my child in the hospital, and which was sort of the plan, but I wasn't really sure. And I've had like gray hair since I was 11. Parentified kid, am I right? But I went like I got this full streak just from being in the hospital.
Wow.
Like I was only in the hospital for 3 days. I had a C-section, and I came out just from that medical racism and trauma. I was like, oh crap, like here we go. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I have a support system. I'm so glad that people check on me. I'm so glad that, we had folks doing Reiki and praying and just sending those energies and, checking in constantly. And it just really opened my eyes to like, wow, without these things already in place, what is the expectation? How do we expect people to thrive and be prepared to, recenter their entire lives around a little person who needs everything from you when you're being depleted, actively being depleted.
Mm-hmm.
My kiddo had jaundice, and the doctor came in and was like, okay, so baby has jaundice, so we're going to move them into the ICU. And I was like, you're actually not. They were like, but I've already ordered the, like on the little tappy tap tap, but I've already ordered it. I was like, well, you didn't ask me. This is my child. So I'm gonna need you to step out of my room. They were like, well, you're gonna have to talk to the doctor. I was like, I would hope so. I would hope that with a decision this important, that the physician who ordered it would want to come and talk to me about it. So yes, we will be talking to the doctor. Get out.
This brought back a very traumatic memory when Sammy was a baby. So Sammy, my youngest, was 5 weeks early. Oof. He surprised me. Note to expectant moms out there, don't take maternity leave early, because as soon as I took maternity leave, I went into labor. I was like, oh God.
Why do we even have due dates? It's like, you don't know. Stop lying. The doctors don't know. They don't know. It's all an estimation, the whole thing.
So anyway, I had him 5 weeks early. And so he had jaundice, which is really normal in premature babies. And so we did go to the newborn ICU. And the first hearing test he got, he didn't respond because he was premature and he was really,
he's like, what?
What? And I joked with the hearing test technician, he just didn't like his music,
Do you have anything with a downbeat?
Yeah, I had,
I know.
He had some songs. He wanted a different station. And he'd been home for 2 days already. So I knew he could hear. He had been reacting to everyone else's voices. So I knew he could hear. I knew he wasn't deaf. It was fine,
Yeah.
But they didn't believe me.
Of course not. Who are you? His mother?
Yeah. And they went so far as after I said no several times to the MRI, because they were going to drug him for the MRI.
So yeah.
And he was only 5.5 pounds. And I said, I didn't go through all that pain of natural childbirth so that you could kill him with some drugs that he doesn't need for a test he doesn't need.
Just because you're nosy. Wait a week. Jeez.
What exactly could you do for him if you found out today that he's sick?
Exactly.
And they said, well, nothing really. Early intervention usually starts at 6 months. And I said, okay, well, how about if I agree
in 6 months
to come back in 6 months so you can retest his hearing? Because they were about to call the people on me, Leah, just because I refused to test.
And I'm like, I'm about to call the people on y'all. Okay. You don't want me to call my people. You don't want my people up in here.
Oh my goodness. It was so traumatic. And when you just got all those hormones coursing.
You're so tender. You're just a little tender person. Like, the universe has made you soft and tender for the intention of receiving a young person. not for, not for medical institutions BS. That's not what that's for,
And I just think it's so horrible to have to fight those
Yeah.
institutions while you're so vulnerable. It's just, oh.
Yeah, I feel like every hour there I was arguing with them about something.
Gave you gray hair?
Yeah, exactly. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for the nurses. Thank goodness for the nurses, because I can see that, like, they just do so much to, like, shield you from these systems. Yes, sometimes they're also participating, but they really are intervening constantly to protect people's psyche and their well-being and their peace. And I was like, dang, that's what you do all day? Let me buy you a drink.
Right? Yay for nurses.
Right? I'm like, I'm a therapist, and I'm like, this is a lot of work.
And midwives. I had
Yes.
when I was having my third son, because he came early, I couldn't have him at home like I'd planned. Yeah. And so I called the midwife, and she came and drove in the middle of the night to the hospital.
Yeah.
So that she could be there to, shield me from the institution.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my midwife was a game changer. Yeah. That's so true. Yeah. Grateful, grateful, grateful.